Reading the story. The Legend of Ong Dai and Ong Kok. Long ago, in the Tran River region of Dong Province, there lived an elderly couple. They were fairly well off, but despite their wealth, they had no children. As they grew older, they often prayed to heaven for a child to keep them company in their old age. One day, while working in the fields, the husband found 2 eggs as big as his fist. He brought them home to show his wife. After looking at them, he was about to throw them away, but his wife stopped him. "Don't throw them away," she said. "Let's keep them and see what hatches." They put the eggs in a jar near the kitchen stove. After only a few days, the eggs hatched into 2 small snakes with red crests on their heads, very pretty to look at. The husband wanted to kill them, but his wife stopped him again. "Don't do that, poor things. Let me raise them as our children." The 2 snakes were very clever. They became attached to the couple and followed them everywhere. They grew quickly, first as thin as chopsticks, then soon as thick as fingers. One day, while the husband was hoeing the garden, the snakes followed closely to look for food in the freshly turned soil. By accident, one swing of the hoe cut off the tail of one snake. The injured snake writhed in pain. The wife cried out, "Oh, how pitiful! Why did you stay so close to the old man and suffer like this?" From that day on, the snake with the broken tail became more fierce and violent than the other. As they grew bigger, the 2 snakes ate more and more. They often slithered into neighboring chicken coops to catch chicks. After being constantly scolded by neighbors, one day the husband said to his wife, "We should release them into the river so they can find food on their own. Otherwise, they may bring disaster upon us." The couple brought the snakes to the riverbank and released them, saying, "My children, stay here and take care of yourselves. Do not come back. We are no longer strong enough to raise you." As soon as the snakes entered the water, strong winds and waves suddenly rose. Water creatures from everywhere gathered and swam about. The couple was astonished. That night, the snakes appeared in their dreams and told them they had been appointed by the Water King to rule the Tran River area. From then on, the 2 snakes ruled a long stretch of the river with great power. People built a temple to worship them and called them the Lords of Tran River, also known as Ong Dai, the long one, and Ong Kok, the short one. Although they already had servants to provide everything they needed, they still sometimes harmed people and animals passing by the river. Ong Kok, in particular, was cruel by nature and grew more violent and lustful over time. Whenever boats passed, he would stir up whirlpools and fierce waves to sink them, then seize people and valuables. Whenever accidents happened, the elderly couple, who had raised Ong Dai and Ong Kok, would go to the riverbank to beg them to stop causing harm. The 2 lords listened, but soon returned to their old ways. One day, a couple from the Trin family stopped their boat there while traveling. The wife, Lady Duong, was very beautiful, and Ong Kok became obsessed with her. That night, 2 young women emerged from the water and stepped onto the boat, each carrying a tray of offerings. They placed the trays in front of the scholar husband and said, "These are gifts from Lord Ong Kok. He rarely lowers himself to do such things, but he wishes you to give him your wife." Furious, the scholar shouted, "Go back and tell your lord to abandon his wicked ways at once. I am a man who studies the teachings of the sages and will never fear demons or evil spirits." As soon as he finished speaking, the 2 women disappeared. Though he spoke bravely, the scholar had heard many stories about Ong Dai and Ong Kok, so he was afraid. He told his wife to gather their belongings, and together they left the boat and went ashore. But it was too late. Ong Kok never broke his word. Seeing that his prey had escaped onto land, he chased after them, transforming into a terrifying storm that blocked their way. The husband had no choice but to take his wife to shelter in a nearby temple. The storm raged all night. When morning came and the storm cleared, the scholar awoke to find his wife gone. Following the traces to the riverbank, he found only her clothes left behind. Heartbroken, the scholar wandered everywhere, seeking a way to take revenge. One day, at a market, he met a strange-looking fortune-teller. He asked for a reading about his family. After casting the divination, the fortune-teller said, "You are burdened with great sorrow." "Please tell me more," the scholar replied. "Your wife has been taken by someone with great power." "That is true," said the scholar. "Please tell me where my wife is now, and whether there is a way to save her." The fortune-teller said, "To be honest, I am the White Dragon Marquis, responsible for bringing rain to this region. Seeing such evil deeds, I wish to help you seek justice. I have waited for you here for a long time. Though that creature is powerful, he cannot defy righteous law. Follow me. First, we must gather clear evidence of your wife's whereabouts." Overjoyed, the scholar knelt and bowed deeply. The White Dragon Marquis told him to close his eyes, then parted the waters and led him far away, until they reached a distant island in the Eastern Sea. The next morning, the Marquis asked, "Do you have anything belonging to your wife as proof?" "Yes," the scholar replied, handing over her hairpin. The White Dragon Marquis took it and left. 2 days later, he returned and said, "Your wife remains loyal to you. She is a faithful woman. Tomorrow, I will take you to the Water King's court to beat the complaint drum. When she is brought out to testify, she herself will accuse your enemy. But you must prepare a written petition as well." In less than 3 days, the case was settled. Ong Kok never expected Lady Duong to expose his crimes before the Water King's court, even though she had borne him a child. Seeing clear evidence of his subordinate's evil deeds, the Water King was furious and shouted, "Exile him to the farthest end of the world." Lady Duong was returned to the human world and reunited with her husband. The child she had with Ong Kok was left in Ong Kok's care. On the day Ong Kok was exiled, the entire Tran River was in turmoil. Fish, shrimp, and reptiles stirred wildly. Soldiers escorted him to the sea and then northward. After many days, they reached a remote land of dense forests with no sign of human life. Ong Kok asked the locals, "Where is this place?" They replied, "This is nearly the edge of Viet Land. Beyond this lies another country." Ong Kok said to the escorting soldiers, "Then this is truly the end of the earth. By the king's order, I will remain here." The group entered a river mouth, but this area was already ruled by a powerful river monster. Unwilling to share power, the monster immediately attacked Ong Kok. A fierce battle broke out from the river mouth to the upstream. Water splashed everywhere, fish died in heaps, and the riverbanks collapsed, causing great loss to the people living nearby. After days of fighting with no clear winner, Ong Kok was badly wounded, while the river monster was also injured, with torn flesh and one ear severed. The soldiers hurried to report to the Water King. Once again, the matter was brought before the court. The Water King ordered the two sides to divide the territory clearly and never invade each other's land. Ong Kok placed a huge stone shaped like a human head on the riverbank as a boundary marker. On the opposite bank, the river monster caused a bell-shaped object to appear as its marker. Still resentful, the river monster continued to provoke Ong Kok. Whenever people heard the roaring water and the ringing sound, they knew another fierce battle was taking place. Eventually, the Water King grew angry at the monster for disobeying orders and had it captured, chained, and handed over to the local mountain deity for custody. From then on, Ong Kok ruled both areas. Today, on the southern bank of the Ky Cung River near the bridge in Lang Son, there is a large stone shaped like a head. On the opposite bank, inside an old temple, there is a chained bell with one broken ear. People say the stone head was placed by Ong Kok as a marker, and the bell is the transformed river monster chained there by the mountain deity. The name, Ky Cung River, is said to originate from Ong Kok's exile. Lessons from the story. Greed and cruelty lead to grave consequences. Ong Kok's greed and violence brought suffering to many people, and in the end, he was punished with exile. The story teaches us not to be greedy or seize what does not belong to us, for evil deeds will eventually be punished. Loyalty and faithfulness. Though abducted by Ong Kok, Lady Duong remained faithful to her husband. The scholar, devastated by her loss, endured countless hardships to bring her back. The story praises marital loyalty and encourages readers to remain steadfast and faithful, like the Trin couple. The power of justice. With a righteous heart, the help of the White Dragon Marquis, and clear evidence, the scholar exposed Ong Kok's crimes and reclaimed justice. The tale reminds us that goodness will always triumph over evil.